Alright, of Whales and Woe. This is going to be over the track, not the entire album. That would be insanity. Speaking of this track, I think it's an underrated, kind of overlooked Claypool tune. I think it's a good song, it's fun to play. And speaking of the album, this will not be a tutorial over the record version of the track. This is going to be over a live version, specifically the one from 2008. I'm pretty sure it's Bonnaroo. It's the one where Merv gets the saw out. Link to that below. Basically, this song is going to be one riff, one pattern that's just going to move up and down the neck. The last part of the riff varies a little bit. There's, a few different fills in it. But yeah, essentially that's what it's going to be. It's going to start out played twice at 4. Whoops. It's going to play at 4 2 times, and for the rest of the song it's going to alternate between 1, 6, and 8. Okay, let's begin at the beginning. First 2 times the riff is played, it's going to be at 4 here. It's going to be played twice, and after that, for the rest of the song, again, it does not return to 4. The rest of the song is 1, 6, and 8. Okay, so the first time it's played, it's going to go like this. Okay, I'll play that again slowly. Okay, to break this down, we are at D and G4 bar chord, strum it down, and then do kind of a soft strum up again. Slap D4, hammer on 5, pop G4, hammer on 5, do a quick muted slap, open G pop, and you're going to be a 5, A5, play it again, hammer on to 6, another quick slap and a pop, and then play You're Here at E5, slap that 3 times, 6, twice, and then up to A6, and then 6, 5 on E. So this last part here, I'm going to classify that as a fill, because when in this track, when Les is not talking, it's kind of like the last part is like fills, it's kind of freestyle. Whereas when he's talking and saying the words, it's not fills, it's like the same riff over and over. But a commonality among the fills is it's the bottom 4 notes, wherever you're playing it. So down at 1 it'd be, and up at 8. So those 4 notes combined with G pops. So as an example, later in the song, like a fill he does at 8 is going to go like this. Alright, moving on to the second time this 4 riff is going to be played. Second time, the part at the end is going to go like... So, on E and A, we're slapping these 5 to 6 hammer-ons. And then kind of, slide down. Okay, and next we are down to 1 for what I'm going to call the verse riff, and I'm calling it that because it is, one pattern that's, really without fills. It's one repeated thing that he does as he's saying, the words to the song. And it's going to start the same way, but it's going to have a different ending, so it's going to be the same. That's going to be the same. But instead of a, I'm going to call that A, which we, learned a bit ago. And he does that more during, when he's not talking, when he's doing fills. but during the verse riff it's A232, and then you're gonna slap E323, and then pop A32, slap E32 again, and then 5. So and there you go, that's the verse riff. Okay, next we're going to take that up to 8, but we're going to do A instead of B, so because he's not talking for a little bit, so it's going to be instead of a, so, and then the little fill here is, so slow that down, and then he starts talking again, so we're going to do another verse riff, ending with a, and then we're going to take it down to 6 for more of the verse riff. And we're going to bring it down to 1 again, do 2 more of the verse riff, and then the third time, he's not talking for a little bit, and we're going to do this fill here, this. Okay, and the fourth time, at 1 down here, the fill at the end is going to go like this. Alright, and after this slide here, we're back at 6 for a verse riff, and then the second time, it's kind of cut short, it's like a, and that's when he says, standing before you is champion of days gone by, and there's this like strum at 7 here, this. Okay, and then we're up to 8 again, and after he says cataracts in his eye, we have this fill here, this. Okay, and up next we have this fill here. Whoops. So yeah, a lot of these fills are just going to be like hammer-ons on these notes, and later, I mean, pretty much all of them are going to end with a. So, I mean, especially towards the end, these most of these fills are going to be like. All right, next we're down to 1 again for more of the verse riff, and when he says most interesting ball of toxins you ever have to meet, then we have this kind of halfway 1 at 6, and there's like a drum fill, and up to 8 again. Okay, and then we're back up to 8, and the riff is going to kind of stop on an H drum, kind of like this. Okay, and then we're down to 6 for 4 times, I think, and again, that one fill, that's going to show up like the majority of the time for the rest of the song for the fills. And then we kind of have the strum down back to 1. Okay, so down here at 1, he's going to start doing this muted thing, where he introduces Merv, and that's pretty much exactly the same thing as the fast part of Lacquer, just slowed down. Goes up to 8 for a halfway riff here. Then in comes Merv. As he's, as Merv is talking, I think, he's strumming the A chord here. Alright, and during the epic saw solo, how often do you get to see one of those, right? Just playing an 8, playing, A instead of B, rather than. And that fill, that common fill discussed earlier. So So that's one thing I forgot to point out. My apologies. There's a G pop before the. So instead of. There's a G pop there. It's. So all in all, during the solo, it's like. So towards the end of the solo, he starts doing the strumming thing from 9 down to 6. He does that a second time, and the third time it's 6 up to 9, ending with a halfway 8 riff. So to demonstrate that.